So that's it, the third step of the French Drift Championship has started this morning here in SA. Lot of people coming here with the sunshine, lot of dust as well as it's a rallycross track. Anyway, loads of subject on this show. First, the driver's portrait with Philippe Ferreira, the famous driver in this championship. Then we'll have a track run with Julien Febvreau, driving the Uniroyal Mustang. He was a rallycross driver, so he is familiar to this track. Then we'll go through technical aspects of whether choosing a Japanese, American or German cars. We'll see, of course, the qualifyings and the battle showdown. And to start, let's see what happened last round 2 weeks ago in Grand-Ternois. Grand-Ternois that always offer a superb show, second for the French Drift Championship, isn't an exception to that rule. Very disputed qualifyings. First Benjamin Boulbes, second Laurent, third Zanato, Raphael, followed by Yvon Buisson and Antoine Amar that does the fight for the championship lead. 3 days ago we had the engine completely stripped on the workbench after a mechanical issue on a valve lifter. I dedicate this victory to my team on those qualifications. At the end of the day, third place came to Benjamin Boulbes on the GT Radial BMW, pushing Zanato to fourth place, even after making a great drifting throughout the weekend. The grand final opposed Laurent on the Tyrrell Scar BMW to Antoine Amar on the SRJ Black S13. Laurent did a great job with consistent passes and win this round 2. First victory of the season for Lolo. The feeling today is a great feeling because the car works really well, the team is happy, the sponsors are happy, I am happy. He had a little wheel that came in the grass, here's the difference. That's what I made in Bordeaux, chances rolls. This time it's for me. It's a long way from the final, so I will be a bit more confident now. I'm ready. If you're a bit lost among all the drifting cars available, the next subject is made for you. What difference between a Japanese, American or German car? Everything you need to know is next. A sport, 3 nationalities represented, Japanese, German and American cars, are filling the championship. As drifting was born in Japan, it's logically well represented through the cars used in drifting all over the world. But we must admit that the Germans offer real advantages. I run an M5 engine for 4 years, I'm really happy with it. I only do the flushes, no need to do more like on turbo cars. Reliability first. We can easily find a lot of parts for our German cars, bodywork as well. Europe is quite rich of that. Even though aftermarket parts exist for Japanese cars, they are not as easy to find out, making them more expensive sometimes. So how does it work at Laurent Motors? Of course it's better not to have issues on your drifting turbo car. That's why here at laurentmotors.com we maintain the highest reliability standards on our products, either for German and Japanese cars. German cars have a negative point as they are naturally aspirated as standard, unlike the Japanese already equipped with turbos. Power being a primary thing in drifting, many drivers add 1 or 2 turbo to their German engines. On one side, it's a huge change of power and pleasure, but that will ask more maintenance. It's a compromise that the American car's owner don't know. The big advantage to the American is their big engine, V8s with a huge displacement from 6 to 7 liters, therefore an enjoyable torque for drifting. The engine instantly goes up in the revs after each slowdown. Also, we don't need to change gears as much as other engines. It's a very comfortable torque delivery. Point where German and Japanese drivers sometimes put the muscle engine in their car, as Benjamin Boulbes, who takes the benefit of a TV V8 engine. someone who wants to extract 700 or 800 horsepower from an engine that does 300 as standard, with a 3.2 liter displacement, it won't be the same job to do when on a 7.4 liter and that makes 600 horsepower. I mean, my engine is near to be underexploited. We're under the 100 horsepower per liter, 700 horsepower for a 3.2 liter, then it's not the same reliability. For French, reliability and performance, many criteria that pushes the drivers to choose a car more than another. Only one thing is for sure, the Germans are the easiest access car to start drifting. Let's take a look to a charismatic driver of the drift scene, Philippe Ferreira, the owner of PF Motorsport Garage. He tuned himself his cars, as for drifting friends as well. He's a long time for him in the French pits, he's a very popular amongst the driver. One thing is for sure, he's not here for kidding. Philippe Ferreira discovered drifting through the Japanese videos on the internet. In the early 2000s, he tries it for fun with friends, but 6 years ago he went competing. What does he like? Sliding, of course, adrenaline, but not only. We're here for good times, to make the biggest show as possible. About the show, he's not the last one. On the track, as in the pits. But making the show doesn't mean make any stupid thing. BMW tuner as his job, Philippe Ferreira made several drifting cars before to work on his own car, an M3 E46. We have a big engine. It's a 3.2 liter boosted by a GT4094R turbocharger that makes a power output of 770 horsepower with 990 Nm torque. That helps a lot most of the time, but on the other hand you have to do a hard job to handle such an amount of power. So we try to get used to the car. Last year was a beginning with it. Now I got to show what I'm able to do in the championship. Philippe caught the 17th place on the 2014 championship. Philippe is now the 8th after the first 2 rounds. A great rise in the ranking thanks to this winter tidy up on the car. We try to get the best balance possible. We take my weight in consideration as well. That way the car is more homogeneous. It's not only a matter of power, the chassis is a critical point. Some boys showed us that the well-balanced car without much power can create a surprise. Owning a powerful, balanced and reliable car, Philippe describes his driving in a single word: smooth. You have to handle the car. It's like you have a crazy horse and you try to ride it. I try to stay focused as well. He also needs concentration outside of the car as the team manager. PF Motorsport is also a racing team in which also drives Sami Lestas, who was here this weekend. It's a status that requires a lot from Philippe, but this doesn't stop him to make the show. Okay, now I'm with Julien Febvre, ex-rallycross pilot who knows SA's track. You may have heard him on Canal Plus channel, as he's the voice of the Formula 1. Julien, can you give us some indications about this track? When drifting, it's a very spectacular track, as we have reached 120 km per hour during the trainings. So it's a first corner really fast, really hard. Then it's a long left turn that we are not used to run like that in rallycross. You have to reach the barrier. It's a very impressive track in the car. Everything that drifter loves. Okay, so here a little surprise for you, Julien, as you came with your mechanic Gaston. We prepared you a new riding machine for your test lap. Have fun and mind the rocks.
Attention le caillou!
Let's get started with Rémi Andrieux that gives the start to Julien Febvre on the Uniroyal Mustang. First, second, third gear, more than 100 km per hour. A big entry on the e-brake after the yellow bridge. Left corner with an inner clipping point. Fast transition to the second clip on the exterior of this parabolic turn. Then a Manji, the transition to the final left turn, full gas. It's really shaky, really touchy between the barriers. Good job, Julien. Now the driver adjusts their lines, they get closer and closer to the clips. Pressure is rising up, qualifications are about to begin. It'll be a very spectacular show regarding what happened this morning. Qualification done on the dry surface and moreover under the sunshine that please everybody. During this moment of the weekend, it's Benjamin Boulbes that reclaims the lead, catching 20 points, followed by Nicolas Monnoir on this first round of the season 2015. Third place is Romain Soukas with a consistent pass. Fourth, Raphael Zanato with his Camaro. Philippe Ferreira is fifth. It's really pleasant as the clips were really well positioned this year, as we could take a lot of speed. At the end of the day, we need to get the podium, to get the correct place in the ranking. We came for that, we will battle for that. It was the first round of the season for me, so it was a hard job this morning, taking back the car on this touchy track, but after the trainings the score is now good. I'm really happy. This morning was very difficult with the dust making it hard to see, especially while the battles being the chaser. The first place is never wins before the end of the day. You never know. We made 2 podiums this year. We take points tonight, 20 points. I don't like to say things before they happen, but officially tonight we lead the championship. We are really happy for that, but tomorrow will be the battles, it's another day, so we try to keep cool. Right behind me, the start line. The drivers are having lunch. It's midday break. Just before the battles, they will launch their rockets on this long straight line on this track. Today the track is wet, so the conditions changes. The battle will be another tight fight. After the top 32, we are now with Thierry Ventura on the black BMW against Benjamin Boulbes. After a long break for Thierry, it's a hard comeback as he lost against the owner of the 2014 champion title. I'm happy of what I've done today. Not so much mistakes, but Boulbes is unbeatable, as usual. Surprise on top 16 with Antoine Amar with a mechanical problem with water coming onto his air filter. It's giving Sami Lestas his first top 8. Sami made a great driving over the weekend. Bravo Sami. It was really hard with the rain, as the follower with so much water on the car, you can see. It's a really slippery track, but it went quite well for me. I had water in the intake, there are huge puddles on the track, nothing else to say. I came here to defend my leadership on the championship, so that's it. Water on the air filter, there's no forgiving in such a situation. Raphael Zanato, who will defend his place in the championship against Laurent Zanato, who is doing a great run, but he made a big mistake on the tight corner, and unluckily for him is out. A big disappointment for him. Well, after a great chase behind Laurent Cousin, I made a mistake on near the third clip. I'm really disappointed, it's very unlucky, it's a so little mistake. I thought I was going to pass. Benjamin Boulbes leader who ran in the water as well, a perfect lane as usual. Sami Lestas with a bit less angle but with accurate driving. He does a good and handle the pressure quite well, Sami. He will get the third clip. He lost some meters against Benjamin, but it's a good run without mistakes from each side. Battle return as it was meant to be. Benjamin BOULBES is right there. He never gives up from the top 32, maybe until the grand final. He gives his maximum, stuck to the blue BMW. Great job from Benjamin, and bravo to Samy for this consistency against the leader. Laurent Cousin facing David Meunier on the drift slide S14. David who's giving his maximum until the third clip. After that he has a grip problem, as we can see. Laurent Cousin then flew alone to the finish line. Laurent Cousin now as the chaser. He will hunt down this prey. Laurent Cousin keeps a comfortable space. Maybe he catches that David was slow in the uphill. And Laurent that comes back so fast in David's bumper. Victory for Laurent Cousin. Jérôme Esteban on the blue BMW, who makes a big mistake right here. Maybe a mechanical problem, so it's 10 points straight for Nicolas Joie on the white Subaru. That smells good for next. Unfortunate mistake or mechanical problem for Jérôme Esteban. Who knows? Let's reverse position with Jérôme in the blue BMW. That must boost the pressure on Nicolas Joie on the white Japanese to make him fail. It's the only way for Jérôme if he wants an OMT. But Nicolas knows pretty well how to dominate this rear-wheel drive Subaru. He made no mistake and take the win against Jérôme Esteban. Nicolas Mounoir on the Mustang-powered Skyline facing the promising Karl Martins. A great line from both contenders. It's really good to watch. I know it's a mechanical failure leading to a contact between both cars. The white Nissan had a shutdown. Karl Martins that checks his front end if it's still functional. That doesn't smell so well for Nicolas, who got out of this car. Watching the slow motion images, will he be able to repair his car? He has 5 minutes for that. The famous rule of the 5 minutes. It's maybe just a fuse. And yes, he's on again. Nicolas now full attack against Karl. He will be very hard for Nicolas. He gives his maximum to make the local competitor fail. But Nicolas does a mistake, so it's a victory for local Karl Martins to the limiter full time on this BMW. Top 4 now set. First semi-final for the weekend with Laurent Cousin Uniroyal BMW chasing Benjamin BOULBES on the GT Radial BMW. Benjamin that give full throttle and full lock straight away. The car is amazing, fast and very well settled. It was a bit better run for Benjamin. Run return, Benjamin right in Laurent's door. He wants his place in the final. He comes back with a good angle on Laurent Cousin. Considering this delicate surface, it's a brilliant show that is given from Benjamin and Laurent. Synchronized, like in the ballet. Let's take the win. Second semi-final opposing Nicolas Joie to Karl Martins in the black BMW. The semi-final for those two drivers. Nicolas that well goes on this first run, is full throttle and gets away from the BMW. Battle return with a very aggressive driving of Karl Martins. The line is perfect from both sides, except in the sector 2 with a mistake from the Subaru with a little regrip. Be careful, Nicolas. A second mistake on the third clip as well. The judges won't forgive that. Nicolas Joie is out. Karl Martins take the win. Small final with Laurent Cousin leader facing Nicolas Joie on the Subaru. The line is perfect for Laurent Cousin. And it seems that Nicolas does the same mistake as behind of Karl Martins. Judges won't allow that, of course. Battle return with Laurent Cousin that leads to this battle for third place. The driver that still must catch the clips and keep the line with the maximum speed and angle. It was a great run for Nicolas Joie, but he will be fourth for this round. the grand final, opposing the two-time champion Benjamin BOULBES against the young and promising Karl Martins. First time under the spotlight, will he handle the pressure? And yes, he signed a solid lap throughout this first battle, even if he lost some meters behind Benjamin. Superb show. Lateral return still very aggressive on the attack. Karl Martins is not afraid. He has a good angle with proper transition and smooth lines. Benjamin BOULBES having fun to come and eat the youngster. There's a great proximity from Benjamin to rear quarter of the lead car. Thanks to them for such an amazing show. Laurent is third, and congrats to Nicolas Joire for his fourth place. Karl Martins takes the second place after his defeat against the big winner Benjamin BOULBES. Great podium with the teams around the drivers. He's very good as a chaser and he has tons of grip, so much traction that makes the difference. He's unbeatable. I don't really have any explanation. I only know that it was unfortunate for Nicolas Monnoir to lose because of the mechanic, and at the end of the day, facing BOULBES is such an unbelievable thing. First on the qualification, first on the battles today. It's a huge point on this round and great deal for us. So that's it for the third stage of the French Drift Championship here in Essay's track, with quite difficult condition for the organization staff as well as for the drivers. Anyway, now the battlefield behind me is now empty. A great podium, Benjamin BOULBES, a new name to follow for next, but Karl Martins. By the way, thanks to Dominique Lunel's team, we had a great weekend with a lot of fun. Take this big appointment for the best track of this year, the Tour Loire Valley Speedway, with the NASCAR show as well. Stay tuned.